Introducing Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace with a wide range of product categories. Pharmaceuticals, automobile, groceries, electronics, flowers and cakes, homeware and appliances, and special services such as Quickie Concierge and Quickie SOS. Providing you with multiple payment options, quick delivery and reliable customer support. Get anything you want delivered anywhere in Sri Lanka with special late night delivery until 3 AM within Colombo and suburbs. Download the Quickie.lk mobile app on your Android or iOS device or visit www.quickie.lk. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
You're watching Sri Lanka's #1 sports at www.thepapare.com, coming to you live from Havelock Park yet again for the second time this week. Dialog Schools Rugby League 2022, Isipathana College hosting Science College here at Havelock Park, and this is going to be a very, very interesting one as we are ready for this very interesting game here, because the green machine will want to get in motion. But watch out for the giant killers in maroon and white, who will want to make sure that they start out their season with a giant killing performance here at Havelock Park. It's going to be very interesting. The weather today, weather forecast, minimum at 26. It's around 27, 28 here. Nice and gloomy. Light rain showers expected here at Havelock Park. We really do hope that that won't be the case until the game is concluded, because it can get very messy. Anyway, it's already, these boys are already playing their first game after a long, long time, so you don't want the complication of the rain. Very, very good crowd. It's still filling up though. And despite me calling this a very, very good crowd, I don't think that's normal for Isipathana College, because they are used to a packed capacity here at Havelock Park. The two teams coached by Isipathana team, of course, coached by Salih Kumar in his debut season at Isipathana, and Amila Chaturanga is the man in charge of Science College, returning after a 5-year-long hiatus. Teams going through their final prep before they get into the all-important game. Well, what we'll do is we will try and take a look at how the teams are lined up for this evening's clash, as the juniors have just finished their game. The home team first, Dinusara Sangeet, Hasindu Dodangoda, Akash, Pandit, Jayavira, and the danger man, the skipper, Dahan Nitna at number 8. It's going to be very interesting how he plays. Shenudu Di Costa, Kanishka, Stefan, Sansoni, Chirat, Silva and Mihisara making up the Science 15. Replacements: Kenula, Lasit, Tehan, Shahid, Mihisara, Chamat, Kalindu Silva and Dinida making up the Science match day, playing 28 and 23 rather. So it's going, next up we will have a look at Science College, the Giants killers, who will want to make sure that they make their presence known. Kaluarachi, Bashita, Jayanpana, Kumar, Prabhashwara, Pereira, Viduranga and Anjana, the skipper for Science College as well. Number 8 versus number 8. Lakshana Silva, Kavisha, Hasit, Induvara, Singh, Devgan and Balasurya making up the playing 15. And in the bench are Pasindu, Nawanga, Yatavara, Marias, Dilshan, Sina, Bandara and Pereira. And joining me in the combox is Shanaka Amarisingh here. Very good evening to you, Shanaka. And back-to-back games at Havelock Park. We didn't have any rugby, and now back-to-back games.
Yes, what a fantastic feeling to come to the same venue on 2 consecutive evenings. Fantastic feeling really for us here in the commentary box. So I can just imagine what it is like for the players and, of course, the crowds, the parents who've seen their kids put in the hard yards, the coaches who've done so much work on and off the field. So it really must be a fantastic feeling for everyone just to get out there. It doesn't really matter whether you're winning the game or losing the game, but just to get out there and play, what an outstanding feeling. It's overcast conditions here, Sudarshana, and it's pretty overcast at the Premadasa Stadium as well, and on the scoreboard at least. But here it's going to make for some good running rugby. I think Isipathana, judging by their warm-ups, which I just walked past, they look like they're raring to play some running rugby. And Science College know no other way. They like to play their running rugby as well. So I think it's going to be an entertaining evening for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think the Green Machine will want to get rolling as soon as possible. But Science College, on the other hand, are known to be giant killers. They come with the motivation that they want to go and hurt some big name teams, and that's their motivation for the season. So what are your chances on Science, especially given the fact that it's the first game of the season?
Well, they were a very good side, Sudarshan. I'm not sure we can judge based on what they did a couple of years ago this year, because Science College has had this issue where they've had cannibalization of some of their players from some of the bigger schools as well. So I don't know in the off-season how much of that has happened, how much of it has not. So as a result of that, it's very difficult to put a real marker on Science College's chances today. But what we do know, what is in their mantra, is the fact that they will not give up. They will just go hammer and tong at the opposition, regardless of what the scoreline is, what the opposition's reputation is. They won't let that blind them, that's for sure. And I hope that ethos of the Science College team is what we're going to see today. But in terms of their personnel, again, I think size might be a factor today, just like it was yesterday. So we'll have to just wait and see how they react on the park.
Well, we went for the preview, and what we did hear from the two coaches was that they didn't mince their word. Pain relief. If you're looking for pain relief, joint ease by Baraka is what you look for, because that's going to give you the instant pain relief, quick penetration, joint ache, muscle ache, pain. Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka is powering the Isipathana team as well this season. So they will be a very proud sponsor to see their team going out on the park, and they will hope the Green Machine will do them proud. And coming back to what I was talking about, we went for the previews and spoke to the coach and the skipper of Science College. And when you do make these rounds, Shanaka, you are accustomed to the answers you are going to get. They are going to tell you that we will take it game by game. We have a very balanced squad. Forwards and backs are playing alike. But Science College, they were very steadfast. They said, we are focused on Isipathana. We want to beat Isipathana. And that's our mantra. So, and the coach did tell us as well, for these boys, they come from not so very privileged backgrounds, and only if they win, they will get the attention that they need. So that's going to be a very motivating factor for these young kids.
It certainly is, Sudarshana, and that's what creates the hunger, doesn't it? I think there was a saying that has been going around on WhatsApp that easy times breed weak men and difficult times breed strong men. And I think Science College, where they are in rugby, where they are in the pecking order in rugby, is something that will concern them and something that they want to move up on. And when you look at players like Lasindu Ishan, Karuna Tilaka, you look at players like Sanjeeva Jayasinghe, who have been absolutely outstanding representatives of Science College in the Sri Lanka rugby footing. I think that there are no better players than those guys in their positions as well. So what an outstanding couple of products those are, and I think we will see more and more of those players to come, Jayasinghe and Karuna Tilaka, just to name a couple in the recent past in Sri Lanka colours. So I'm sure that's what they'll be facing, and it's a shame that guys like Sanjeeva Jayasinghe are not in the country to actually go in and inspire the boys, speak of their success stories. So that's something that Science College will really take a lot of credit for, because they have been a cradle of rugby, Sudarshan. Even from the time when I was in school, like in Mount Lavinia, they were always the upcoming brand of rugby players in Mount Lavinia. And we prided ourselves on being the best school in Mount Lavinia as far as rugby is concerned, but that became very much second place in the last few years or so, with Science College being much better than St. Thomas's. So it's been an ebb and flow at Science, and that's what they've got to probably work on in terms of their committee, making sure that they're sustainable, that they retain players, that they make sure their squads stay together year after year.
What we'll do now is we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will listen to a little more about similar thoughts, and we will have the live action of the second game of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2022.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Welcome to the universe of the Raj. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field. Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Daraz ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න, සිත් සේතෝරා ගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරස් සොයා ගන්න.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
Welcome to the universe of the Raj. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Daraz ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න, සිත් සේතෝරා ගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරස් සොයා ගන්න.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Jointies Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Daraz lokayata ekatu wenna. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න සිත් සේතෝරා ගන්න හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක් අසීමිත සතුටක් අත්විඳින්න ඔබේ දරස් සොයා ගන්න.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Jointies Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability.
A very good afternoon and welcome back to the Papare.com as we bring you action from the second league match in this Dialog Schools Rugby Tournament. Science College in the maroon taking on the hosts Isipathana College in the traditional green. And the Green Machines first outing this season, and their crowds out in force here at their home ground Havelock Park. And Science College travelling what is a long distance now with the fuel crisis, and that's not how they came in. They came in on the team bus, but certainly did come in from Mount Lavinia.
Well, as we're about to kick off the game, we have a power pack brand with us, a game changer in its field, delivering on the brand promise of convenience delivered. Quickie has launched the Go Green, Go Cycling concept with the bike deliveries for the first time in Sri Lanka. And they are delivering the match ball to the referee. We've seen the remote cars coming in. But here's the first, the bicycle coming in and delivering the ball to the referee.
Are you sure they didn't have a car planned and couldn't get fuel for it, Sudarshana? But great to see. That's lovely to see that the marketers capitalizing on the situation, always making the best of whatever life throws at you. Quickie.lk, great to have them on board the Dialog Papare.com with us as the delivery crew makes their way off the field. I'm sure we'll be seeing a couple of those deliveries towards the try line today, that's for sure. Science College expecting a giant killing performance of their fans, but Isipathana will be very keen to show St. Joseph's that they are a force to be reckoned with as well. Isipathana in the green, playing from right to left, and Science College to receive the kickoff.
Well, it's a luxury to be a neutral fan on these games, isn't it, Chanaka? Because the man next to me, Hisham Hamid, very tensed. Our co-commentator for the evening, Isipathana himself, and you'll want to see what Isipathana can bring to the table today.
Yes, exactly. This team is playing a first 15 game after like 2.5 years. So it's a massive test on the boys. Interesting to see how Dahan will lead the team as well. He's been a good number 8, but he's after a break of 2 years. But the other interesting part will be how the three quarters. We've learned that it's a young three-quarter lineup for Isipathana this time. So physically, as well as if they'll have the speed to match the opposition, that'll be an interesting watch.
First set piece of the game, always a very interesting point in the start of any rugby match. Let's see how these packs come up against each other. Danushka Boteju, of course, doing a lot of work with the Isipathana forwards. And Ransilu Jatilaka would have done an equal amount of strength and conditioning with the Science College lads, as we see the number 8 for Science College, Kaluarachi, taking the ball forward. He's playing in the prop position. And Science are holding on to the ball, trying to get a couple of phases going. Dragged down, good technique in the tackle by Isipathana, but the ball has been retained by Science. Quick ball out from Lakshan Silva, the scrum half. It's 4 phases now for Isipathana. Quick ball but can't hold on. Went back, says the referee, as it did. Here's Lakshan looking for options. A hooker in the line. That's a big bit of defense, but fighting his way to the ground was the Science College number 8. And finally, after about 6 phases, they opt for the boot, connected that time by Malit Mihisara, who bounces the ball dangerously to be picked up by Iduranga. Iduranga trying to fend his man away, leaves the ball inside, has done really well to keep that ball in field. And the referee says holding on. So after a long passage of play, we see a penalty in favor of Isipathana.
Shenudadi Costa that time getting the turnover. And Shanaka, what Science lacks in size, they surely do make up for in strength, because they're very strong on their feet and they are winning. They are managing that breakdown area pretty well.
I think yesterday it was pretty obvious where the gulf was, Sudarshana, in the Joes versus Kingswood game, and that was in the strength and conditioning. But even though these boys lack physical size, I'm sure Ransilu Jatilaka would have done an outstanding job on the SNC front with them. So they're not going to wilt like we saw Kingswood yesterday against a bigger team. Now the first line out. Isipathana did well, even though they conceded the free kick. They would have done well to show Science what they're about, but the line out is good as well, taken at the back. And as we talked about yesterday, the first throw goes into number 6. These boys are pretty confident of their number 6 throws. Referee playing advantage as they keep moving forward. Isipathana driving their way about 15 meters in. On the 15-meter line as well. If they drive this through, it will be about a 30-meter drive all the way to the line. This is some great construction at the mall. Here's Dahan going on his way to the line. They can't stop him. Eventually they do drag him down 2 meters from the line, and here it is, all open. Draw and pass, and it's a try for Mihisara. Unselfish play that time by the number 13, Chamidu Chirat, who drew the last defender and passed to Mihisaru. All he had to do was step inside and finish off the good work started by his forwards.
Certainly brilliant work by the forwards of that rolling maul. Dahan tried to go himself, but in the end some desperate defense not good enough to stop Isipathana from registering the first points in the game.
Pretty interesting, isn't it, to see Isipathana with the driving maul. You're normally known for the running rugby, but that's another dimension that they've added this year. So very, very interesting stuff. That Boteju is going to be elated with the stuff that he saw. Malit Mihisara.
Well, I guess a lot of people will be looking at this aspect as well. Isipathana has struggled with the place kicking department in recent years, and this is a new boy here taking up the place kicking duties. So interesting to see how he'll line up his first kick.
Malit Mihisara as Havelock Park hushes, respecting the kicker. That's a good strike. It's a very good strike, in fact. But even though he doesn't have direction, it shows that he does have the technique. Be a little bit of nerves for him. You can see him admonishing himself as he runs back. But he scored the 5 points, couldn't make it 7. But that will certainly settle the nerves of the Isipathana team coming back to competitive rugby after 2.5 years. And there's no better feeling than to get a score in the first 5 minutes.
Official, I think they'll be quite happy at the way that they managed to score that try. It wasn't off a broken play. It was a set play that they continued. So the coaches will be as happy as well. Sanle Kumara, that's his maiden try as head coach of Isipathana College.
Kickoff received that time by Rinesh Silva. And the box kick, this is what we were discussing yesterday, by Sehando Di Costa. Is he the 4th Di Costa brother, Hisham?
Rinesh is actually the brother of Rehan and Randy.
Rinesh is the Silva brother.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Di Costa.
No,
So we have quite a few brothers playing for Isipathana. Most famous, arguably, are the Mallikarachi brothers, all 3 of them. So first line out now for Science. Quite a bit of movement in the line out and eventually grabbed by the Science College player, but the ball is contested. Not sure who had possession of that before it went in, but it's come down on the Isipathana side. And the referee has said that Science College took it in, so it will be Isipathana ball. So again, the set pieces are what's going to come back to haunt the smaller teams in the competition. Number 10, Navin Kanishka for Isipathana will be probably tasked with getting his team away from the 22. The scrum is outside, so he'll have to be careful not to kick this one out in the full. But given that they've just scored, and knowing what we do know of Isipathana, they might want to run this one. Dahan at the back picking up and going, but he's tackled behind the gain line by a brave tackle from Iduranga, the number 7 for Science College. It's a big man. That's how you bring big men down. And Kanishka now thumping it into the safety of touch. And they'll be quite happy to give Science College a line out, knowing that they can compete in this area.
Yes, they look very strong in the line out, Isipathana College, and when they are strong in their line out, they're a very hard team to beat. Very competitive group this as well. Group 2A, St. Peter's College, Isipathana College, Wesley College, Science College, Dharmaraja and Vidyartha making up the 6 teams.
Again, a botched line out. Science College will count themselves lucky to get this back from a knock-on, but the line-out is not completed, and that's something that will worry them. It's 2 line-outs now that haven't looked very competent. So, again, if this aspect of your game is bad, just as the Blues found out, this is going to be a long afternoon, just like it was for Kingswood yesterday.
Yeah, you took that jab on me yesterday. Couldn't stop yourself, Shanaka.
Well, let's not talk about Liverpool, shall we? It's a good scrum now for Science, a good attacking scrum, lots of open side for them to play with. Picked up, 8-9 move. Now they're looking for runners coming in, and that's a nice set play from Science College. Managed to find a little bit of space. Stepping back inside is the big prop forward, Kumara. Offside is the call from the referee. Hasita trying to step his way out of trouble. I thought there was a bit of an opportunity that the scrum half missed to run there, but Science confident with ball in hand. And that time again it's Kumara that is taken to ground. But they'll come back for the offside.
The skipper, the guilty party there, they had Nitin that time. Very interesting call to be made. That they botched 2 lineouts on the go. So do they go for points? And yes, they will.
So a bit of scrappy play there by both teams, and in the end Science managing to earn that penalty. And if they feel they should be able to convert this into points, and if they do so, they'll be satisfied with the scoreboard, because the lead will be just 2 points after that tremendous start by Isipathana.
Well, one good thing for Science is that they've looked good with the ball in hand. They showed the confidence to run at Isipathana from that set piece. And the number 8 breaking, managed to commit the flanker. It was really good basic work, 8-9, finding willing runners on the unders line. It was a really good start. Isipathana had to scramble to kind of contain them there, and Science, I thought, missed a few opportunities. But let's see whether they can close the gap to 2 points now. With just about 12 minutes on the clock. This is Kavisha, who thumps it straight through the middle, and it's 5-3 here at Havelock Park. Dialog Schools Rugby. It's the second match of the season, the second match day of the season as well. Royal playing Isipathana. Royal playing St. Anthony's across Colombo at the Royal College Sports Complex, as we see Kavisha knock this one straight through for Science College's first points of the 2022 season.
So Isipathana with the restart now. Naveen Kanishka playing at fly half this season. Deep kick. The Science College players let it bounce. Awkward little pass there, but gets the job done. But the kick is not great. Straight to the hands of Naveen Kanishka. Isipathana's fullback, nowhere to go, brought down. Here's Surya taking on his man. Good defense by Science College. And good pressure by Science College, so it's turnover ball. But unfortunately they knock it forward. Isipathana losing their focus at the breakdown, and Science College capitalizing, but just not good enough there.
It's an excellent counter up there, as we see that coming through, straight through the big number 5, Prabhashana, probably the biggest man in the Science College team, making his size count.
Well, update coming to you from Royal Complex. Royal currently in the lead, 10-0 over the Antonians, who've come down to Colombo. So far, the 2 candidate teams who've come down to Colombo, they haven't had their way. They'll be licking their fingers, because next week all 3 of them will have games in Kandy.
Can tell you that their bus drivers will be happy about that, Sudarshana. Probably won't have to spend days in the queue. Here's Kavisha. Good tackle that time on Chamidu Chirat. Isipathana smashing into defense, but it's a good wall of defense by Science College. And again, good pressure on the number 9 there.
Well, yes, not giving away any freebies. Induranga that time coming in from the blind side, and the scrum half was clearly unsighted, but the scrum half made the mistake of picking up the ball and not passing it. The moment you pick up the ball, it's open play. Score of the Royal versus St. Anthony's game from Royal Complex, 10-0. Royal in the lead. And inflation really is hitting everybody, isn't it? No Papare vans around the park. Doesn't feel like it's a schools rugby game. But boy, oh boy, aren't we glad that schools rugby is finally taking place. And this one, if you are to judge by the early exchanges, is going to be very interesting.
Sure, it's going to be an entertaining game. Another good scrum for Science College in the right part of the field. width-wise but not length-wise. They're behind the 40-meter mark. Outstanding scrummaging by Isipathana there. Nice tackle again by Hasitha on his opposite number, Praveen Stephen. But Isipathana still holding onto the ball. Here's Chamidu Chirat going in and making sure he protects it. Moving slowly into the 22. Science College again struggling with the scrum and the line out. If you struggle in those areas, you really have to make sure you turn the ball over and win some possession that way. Kavisha trying the little inside ball to Praveen Stephen. But Science College were wise to it. And they do win the penalty. So again, defensively, they've been doing excellent work, but taking it quickly is Kumara. And he'll be lucky that the referee has called that back, because he's taking a quick tap just outside his 22. It's not what you want your props doing.
A little bit of a brain fade, cut some slack for them, man. But Science College got to love their tackle technique, Shanaka. They go nice and low, drive at the man, and that's copybook tackling for you. Despite being quite good, went for distance but doesn't find touch, and Isipathana now on counter.
A nice bit of evasion that time, but did put a foot accidentally into touch. The Science College 7, Iduranga, who's been in the thick of the action for his team. But unforgivable mistakes, those. Sudarshana, you really need to find your touch, especially when you're under so much pressure.
100% they were given a second life because the prop wanted to take it quick, isn't it? Now, Isipathana had the rub of the green with the Science player putting his foot in touch. Last time they had line out, they ended up scoring from it. What will they do here?
No need to change something that's working. Venura Sangeet to throw in. Dodangara at the top. It's quick ball this time. Kavisha, dummies in, dummies out again. And lovely line taken that time. And here's Kavisha, they're screaming for it outside. Lovely pass by Malit Mihisara rather. Brought down was Rinesh Silva. Here's a captain trundling his way into the 22. It's still available for Isipathana. The crowd are on their feet. Again, outstanding defense from Science College. Lovely little break, and the ankle tap is good on Rinesh Silva, bringing him down when he could have gone into the line. But the referee has come back for an offside play. Again, exciting stuff here from both teams. Good attack versus good defense.
Brilliant, just brilliant rugby from dishing out from both these teams. Good, open, fast-paced rugby, and doing the sensible thing as well. So, Isipathana College, yes, they had a very good move. They had momentum on their side, but every time you can go for points, you go for points.
Well, Hisham, that's a moral victory, isn't it? As we watch the replay here, lovely little back of the hand offload from Surya Dodangoda there. But with such a potent rolling maul that we just saw, do you think that they're missing an opportunity, or is this a win for Science College that they're taking the points here, Hisham?
Well, I think it can be considered either way. But I think the sensible thing to do here right now is, because Isipathana it looks to be the better side in attack, but they've got not that much points to show for it. So I think it's better to have some bit of a cushion early on and then move on from there.
Malit Mihisara now missed his first conversion from a much more difficult angle. So he'll want to open his account. Isipathana fullback. And that's straight through the middle for Malit Mihisara. That'll make him very happy, as it will the Isipathana crowd. 8 points to 3 now, with the home team leading. It's a good strike. He's got some good distance on that boot of his. He's only a small man, Malit Mihisara, but the timing is good. And after all that pressure, they get 3 points. they wouldn't mind if the 3 points keep racking up. Of course, as you've said, Sudarshana, yesterday, this is a tough group, and the bonus points, can those be carried forward into the next round? Would that make any difference?
Yes, the points that you finish with, that after the 5 weeks will be carried forward into the super round. And yes, those bonus points might make the difference, might be the decider between who will go on to become the league champions 2022, the return of the league. That's not a very good restart, isn't it? We saw that yesterday as well, twice. When they score, they lose focus, and that's clearly not what you want from your team.
Oh, that was a mistake by Havelock Pandit, who didn't really see the ball coming over his shoulder. Wobbly ball as well, that was kicked.
Well, in the background, I did see the Vidyartha head coach, who's supposed to play Wesley tomorrow, coming today, not doing a very good job at hiding himself wearing the Vidyartha jersey.
I think transparency is name of the game now, so good to see him taking that seriously. Good ball off the back, lovely burst from the back of the scrum by the Science College number 8. They're piling into that breakdown. Want to pick up and go here, obviously. Getting in there to try and make a difference was Havelock Pandit. He knows that it's his mistake that have let Science College in there, so he'll be wanting to make amends. Picking and going towards the goal line. Science College need to make sure they're not isolated here, because Isipathana's defense is going to be good. And here's another offside penalty. Knows he's got a free play, so he's going to run with it. It's another little short ball. They've been good with their ball handling so far. There's a bit of space. Coming back infield. Referee still playing advantage. Might just run out of room on this far side. Hugging the touchline and still keeping the ball in play. Really well done that time to lay the ball back. Not a great pass, but a lovely short ball that time, but a superb tackle from Mihisara that time. And here's a big man in the Science College line, was Induvara. Quick rock speed from Science College. They'll be happy with this. Spinning in the tackle, making the yards, getting behind the gain line. But that looked like the ball might have been lost forward, and the referee's coming back for the offside penalty.
Very, very interesting passage of play. Science College recycling the ball really fast. They're making it quick. They're not letting the Pathanians slow that ball down. And kudos to Isipathana as well. They're all around the park. They're making those tackles stick. And seems like Science will opt to go for points again. Also interesting to see, Shanika, that water has come in. I wonder whether, according to the new rules, you're allowed to let the water in. It has to be the responsibility of the fourth official.
Well, all I can say, Sudarshana, is the guys making the rules about water don't live in a country where it's 35 degrees and 100% humidity. So they can say what they like as far as I'm concerned. But 8 points to 3, they're looking to make it 8 points to 6. I'm surprised Science didn't opt for a scrum here. Perhaps they're not too confident of their set piece, but it would have been a nice place to take a scrum.
Well, surely it seems like they want to make sure that Isipathana is at arm's reach. 8 points to 6 after 24 minutes. And Science College are not going to be a pushover.
Certainly not, Hisham. 2 visits to the 22, 2 penalties to show for it.
And the irony for Isipathana would be those attempts were gifted to them basically, because Isipathana made 2, you could say, careless mistakes which gave the opportunity. But Science College taking full advantage of it, and they'll be satisfied with the scoreboard for now.
Navin Kanishka to kick off for Isipathana. And he makes sure it's straight down the middle. Fielded by Lakshan Silva, the number 9 for Science. Push this one back as well. It went back before it bounced forward. Here's Kanishka, but the referee will come down. And he's got a call from his touch judge. It's not. It did go forward, so a little bit of a flare-up, nothing in it. But good to see some aggression from both teams.
Well, the person who was most concerned was Mr. Jayasuriya, the master in charge of Science College. Swiftly up on his feet to make sure that his boys know that he is around. They'll get in trouble if they get involved, but harmless, absolutely harmless. Isipathana very careful, Shanika, because Science, if you let Science catch some momentum, they will come back to hurt you.
It's interesting to see, this is off your screen, but the width that the defensive line, the fly half is holding, waiting for his flanker to come through and his scrum half to help him out. Big gap for the number 8 to run into, which he did last time. Nice hands from Science College, lovely little step in field, manages to stay on his feet. Chirat did some good work to stop that move when he did, but here's the prop forward, Basita, handing off a few men. Good counter ruck from Isipathana that time. Science College have done well to hold on to this ball, but no, they haven't.
Well, Isipathana required to do some defending of their own. And off your screen, one of the players looks to be in a spot of bother, but looks to be some early cramp. But Science College, to their credit, have really come back into this game strong after that start by Isipathana. And you could say that they have some wind in their sails right now. And Isipathana need to do a bit of defending. And they have looked dangerous, like Shanika mentioned. Whenever they entered Isipathana, the Isipathana 22, they have left with points.
Yes, very, very impressed about how Science College is playing currently, because their ball presentation is right on top, Shanika. That is the reason why they're getting that quick ball out as well. And that comes down to your coach drilling the basics right into you. Because at this level, you see some players trying to do a little too much, trying to crawl in, trying to roll over. But proper ball presentation time and time again will make sure that you get a good, clean, fast ruck.
Certainly do. You can't really speak too much about doing the basics right. Switch play. Coming back in field was Sunal Sansoni, the number 12. Here's Navin Kanishka thumping this ball far down into the 22. Fielded by Science, who think about running it, and indeed they do. So you can see that the Science College team are not going to go home wandering. Lovely little box kick that time from Lakshan Silva. And again, it's not taken cleanly by Navin Kanishka. That's out in the full, so couple of unforced errors, I think you could call them, for Isipathana. Salya Kumara looking a little bit irritated there in the background.
That's the most irritated you're going to see him all night. Shanika, Salya Kumara, very difficult to get him annoyed. I know sometimes the Isipathana boys will disagree. It's a very calm and quiet character. And exceptional utility back in his day.
Get back.
Well, one of the tiniest hookers I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, that's Bashita in the number 23 jersey. Spiked down that time by Pereira in the the number 4 jumper. I think he was just a little too enthusiastic. A little tap down would have done nicely for his scrum half. But he really spiked that down like a volleyball player.
Havelock Sports Club. And the members, I think, will not be interested in, they would not be interested in the current thumping that Sri Lanka is getting at Premadharsa. Thankfully, of course.
Well, when you ask your crowd to come out and support the opposition team, I'm not sure what that does to the confidence of the home team, but lovely pass there to Stephen. Just couldn't get his pass away in time, but the referee will stop this one and maybe have a chat with his assistant about that tackle, but the referee says nothing wrong. We can look at that again and make up our minds as well.
Referee did want to try and consult with the assistant referee Jamaldeen, who already said that was completely fine. Well, in rugby, some things can look dangerous, whereas they actually aren't. Here's what happened. Ooh. Just maybe was there a slight bit of tip there, Shanaka, that would have warranted a yellow card, because the tackler is responsible in bringing the tackle player down safely.
Well, that's an interesting one. I really would like to look at that again before commenting. Again, under real pressure, Laksan Silva in the line out. His jumpers are not doing him any favors, but he did well, the scrum half, to try and protect that ball, and he'll want to set that up again for Kavisha to thump downfield, and that one is well behind Praveen Stephen, who has to run back for it, but will have a head of steam. Good tackle again by Science College. They're not missing their one-on-ones. Looks like they've managed to turn that one over. Great work there in defense by Science. So even if they're not winning their scrums and lineouts, they'll want to get a bit more ball this way. Again, a good kick. And the referee's seen a knock forward. The first knock on was by Science, so it will be Isipathana ball. But they're playing what's in front of them, Science College, Sudarshana, and that's good to see. They're adapting to the game. They know exactly what to do, when to kick, when to run. And again, they're not afraid of taking on this much more fancied, much more reputed Isipathana team.
Well, of course, that's Science for you in a nutshell. They will not care what your name is. They will just play what's right in front of you. That's why they've created upsets all around the park. They've beaten all the big teams. Isipathana College, the only school in schools rugby to have a positive record against every single team that they've played so far, similar to St. Joseph's in cricket.
It is the captain, Dahan Nithina, going off the back, making some good ground for his team. Not making the angle any easier for Navin Kanishka though. But that time his fly half was saved by an outstanding catch by Rinesh Silva. And now the ball is anybody's to chase down. Well covered that time by Science College. Now Science College need to make sure that everybody's on side, but it doesn't matter because Dahan Nithina has dropped the ball cold. The Isipathana captain won't be too happy about that. But again, well recovered from Science. They had the ball put in behind them. The covering winger was coming in from the blind side, knew what to do, thumped it down the field. So this is interesting. It's 8 points to 6 is really good value for this.
Let's take a look at this. This was a good kick. Despite not being able to chase it down, it was in a dangerous area. One man to beat, and that man did absolutely well. Dahan Nithina guilty of trying to spot where he wanted to score in the field, because from that distance he would have been a very dangerous man to handle.
Good scrambling defense by Hasitha, and the 2 points difference that we see on the scoreboard is clearly down to how things are going on the set piece. Nice tackle that time by Chamidu Chirat. But Science College still fizzing that ball through, and again outstanding work by Venura Sangeet, the hooker, making a turnover, playing like a third rower. Lovely ball that time again to Sansoni. Sansoni still going, opts to keep it in hand, which was the right thing to do that time. De Costa. Navin. Here's a nice little offload that time by Vavala Pandit, but getting in the way was Science College, and there's no advantage, and the referee will come back for the offside penalty.
Well, the game has turned a bit of both teams feeding off scraps, and in fact this would give a good platform for Isipathana, but not the greatest kick by Naveen. After a good start, he's made a few mistakes. So can Isipathana produce a good line-out drive? Probably just like they scored the first try. It would be a perfect time to do so, right on half-time.
Last place is the referee, so 35 minutes up on our clock, same is with the referee. But who will be the happier coach at half-time? Shanaka, I'm sure Amila Chaturanga is going to spur his charges on.
Well, that looked like it might have been a sack just a little bit too late. Referee's got his arm up for a penalty, so we will continue play. Counter-ruck coming from Science College. But Pandit is the man who's taken the ball through on the blind side. They'll want the ball in the hands of Nitina from this range, and that's exactly where it is. Here's good work from Surya Dorangoda on the floor as well, and the ball is knocked forward. But offside is the call again from the referee, taken quickly. Navin Kavisha, it's not 10 meters, so there might be a yellow card in this for Science College.
Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate for Science College, because they will lose their flyer of the number 10, Kavisha, for 10 minutes. That will be the start of the second half. They'll have to play with 14 men, but Isipathana would want to make sure that they score from here on, because they played much better than the 2 points that he's saying. And Venera Sangeet does just that, touches down and takes use of the opportunity that was presented to them just before half time, as Science go in front. Isipathana extend their lead 13 points to 6.
A killer blow, isn't it, for Science College, coming just before the stroke of half-time. Venura Sangeet, everyone thought he was going to pass the ball or take the contact and go down, but he didn't. Stayed on his feet, bumping out of one tackle, and then straight through the middle. Science College's defense, which had been so good up to that point, just thought they're going to see out to halftime and just found a bit of complacency. This is why you absolutely need to be switched on until the final whistle blows. So going to be Malit Mihisara to try and add the extra points. It's 13 points to 6 at the moment.
Almost at the 22-meter line, Shanika, so it doesn't have a problem with the distance.
Doesn't get it through this time, so it will stay at 13 points to 6. Just 7 points in it though, and except for that score and the dominance in the set piece, Science College have looked good value for the entertainment that they've brought us here. You're watching the Papare.com, powered by Dialog, and this is the Dialog Schools rugby season. You're in the second match day today. Isipathana taking on Science College here at Havelock Park. Royal taking on St. Anthony's at the Royal College Sports Complex. And at half-time at Havelock Park, it's 13 points to 6. Isipathana playing Science.
Well, very interesting first half we've had here at the second game of the Dialog Schools Rugby League. Isipathana College taking on Science College. This is how the game started. A good high-hanging kick starts off the proceedings. But it was Isipathana who was first on the board. Quick hands to the corner as Mihisara touched down, added the extras as well. Then Science striking back with a penalty. Added 3 points, and just before half time, that was Isipathana getting their first penalty rather. Science were quick to pounce on any opportunity that came their way, managing to score 2 penalties. That was very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate that time. But Science had a beautiful chance, and that was the incident that we spoke of, Shanaka. That was going to be very interesting to see how that would have worked. And that was the try by Venura just before half-time. We'll go into a short commercial break. When we come back, we will have the live action of the second half in this Dialog Schools rugby game.
දරස් ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න. සිත් සේතෝරා ගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරස් සොයාගන්න.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
රඩි ඔලිබරපු යාල්පානතිල්ල
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිප්තදාස
ඇට්මොරටුව පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය කිලක්කු මාහාන සුගතදාස ඉන්ඩෝර් ස්ටේඩියම්
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
කුරුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk. Convenience delivered.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Jointies Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritties. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
Daraz ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න. සිත් සේතෝරා ගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරස් සොයාගන්න.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
රෙඩි ඔලිවරපු යාල්පානතිල්ල
මාතර කොටවිල ගම්පියසට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
සිප්පදාස
ඇඩ්මෝරටුව
පියගම මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ක්‍රීඩාංගණය.
කිලක්කු මාහන
Sugadadasa Indoor Stadium
is the Fox Hill Supercross.
රුණෑගල සිටි ඇතුගල් පුරවරය
Papare.com අපි අද ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ නෝරෙලිය ප්‍රදේශයට.
ෆයිනල් ෂෝඩවුන් කැන්ඩි ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ක්ලබ්
පොළොන්නරුව ජාතික සංකීර්ණයේ සිට
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from Havelock Park as we ready for the next 35 minutes of very, very interesting schools rugby action. And the school currently stands at 13 points to 6. Science will consider themselves a very, very unlucky, having been at 8 points to 6 the majority of the half. It's going to be a very interesting one here in this second half. Shanaka, who do you have your money on?
Well, it's been no shortage of entertainment, but given the dominance in the set piece, you'll have to put your sensible money on Isipathana at half-time. That's where the odds are going. But
they'll go against the odds.
we keep making mistakes like that. That's Dunit Jayavira with the unfortunate knock on early doors. And Science College have a scrum right in the center of the field. Can go either way if they can win the ball.
So this is going to be very, very interesting. You talk about the first scrum, first line out, first conversion, first try. It can be true for both halves as well, Science College. And you know, every time a player is down, the rest of them tend to give a little bit more extra. We've seen time and time again when teams are reduced in number, they dish up. When he comes up, Science will be flying. But it's been a very good contest so far, Shanaka. Very, very interesting contest between these two teams.
Again another scrum. And this is where the skipper Kaluharachi usually comes into play, but this time they've opted to give it straight to their reserve fly half, Pereira, who's come in, ducking under the tackle of the Isipathana captain.
Get back!
Safe tackle there. Here's Kumar taking it all the way up to the 22. Lakshan Silva, and breaking through the first line of defense.
Back! Stay back!
Was Pereira there?
Number 2 up.
Pereira still calling for it. Lakshan Silva shepherding his troops. Little bit of space now, and he's put the ball in deep behind the Isipathana backs, but he knew that the penalty was coming.
Yes, offside advantage.
Captain.
It's a very, very... you got to love the scrum of Shanaka, because he's the smallest man on the park. But keep an eye out for the Science number 9. Small man, big mentality. Walks around like he owns the place. He's a little chatty with the referee as well, but in a very decent way. So Science will won't mind this. They'll take as much as time as they possibly can until they are restored to their original number. That doesn't look good.
No, it's shoulder injuries are never easy, are they? Can probably play through the pain, but you tend risking that injury getting worse. So we really hope it's nothing too serious for the Science College lad on the floor at the moment.
Well, being a water polo player, you'll know.
Well, I haven't had fully functioning shoulders for about 25 years now, Sudarshana. It's hanging by threads, so fully empathize with the lad's pain. This is where it happened. Here's the big man, smashed in the tackle, and that's probably where he felt it. Yeah, you can see him coming up with a grimace.
But still making that attempt to present the ball, Shanaka. That's why it's been wonderful. Referee Shankar clearly giving them instructions. If he wants to come back in, you cannot substitute a player, because you can only do that when it's blood in.
So Basita is heading off. The doctor will examine him, and if it's popped out and popped back into place, that can be severely painful, but not that dangerous.
I think he won't be able to come back in, Chanaka, because a replacement was sent in his place. Good thinking by Amila Chaturanga and Richie Dharmapala, the men in charge, because it's just the start of the season. You don't have to take that risk.
Navarangana is the man who replaces Basita, and taking the kick is going to be Pereira.
Vital kick for Science College, indeed. This to reduce the deficit to just 4 points.
And that's an easy kick for Pereira as well, despite their first choice fly half being in the bin. Pereira has come in and made a bit of a difference. Showed that he's keen with the ball in hand as well to marshal the play, and between him and Lakshan Silva, the nippy number 9, there could be a little bit of space for the taking.
MOD Pereira, Ministry of Defense Pereira.
Perhaps it's a good place to work these days, I've heard. Isipathana now with the kickoff, facing in away from the sun that time, and picking it up was Pereira, the lanky second row for Science College. Here's a bit of numbers for Science College, but they can't capitalize on it. Tried to put the little kick through, but it's always dangerous with the defense up on you so quickly. Taken forward by Lahiru Akash. And again, playing with the ball like it's a bar of soap. Isipathana have only themselves to blame for not stringing more phases together. You have to say, Sudarshana, that with the ball in hand, Science College have actually looked better.
Yes, I do agree with you, Shanaka, because they've been more secure and more responsible with ball in hand. Isipathana, of course, I think there is no lack of talent, or there is absolutely no lack of talent with Isipathana College, but they've been wasteful. But something very interesting that I want to raise here, it's a 70-minute game, almost 40 minutes on our clock, and we've had a game yesterday as well. We haven't seen a single attempt by any of the teams of the 50-22, Shanaka, and that's a rule. Yes, maybe even though we do not really endorse that rule change, that's something that you can exploit if you have the kicker in your side.
Well, to be fair, I actually do like the rule change, Sudarshana. It makes the wingers drop back a little bit. It keeps them in two minds as well. Can't set that one line of defense to make sure that you don't break through. But it requires very good kickers, doesn't it? You've got to make 30 or 40 meters through the air. And at international level, at club level, it's really pretty easy. But these boys, finding 30 to 40 meters range, and accurately as well, it's not really going to be easy for them.
Well, I can't wait to see Dharmaraj play, Shanaka, because their skipper was on the 16 junior national football player, can kick from both feet, so that's going to be interesting whether he'll try and attempt that. Plays that fly off as well.
Kaluarachi makes the break and sending Malik Mihisera straight under his post, and he didn't have a lot of space to work with there. Mihisera hangs on for dear life as Science College maraud their way back into the Isipathana 22. Here's the big man who's just come onto the pitch, so his fresh legs of Navarangana slowly but steadfastly making their way towards the line. Science College quite close here and have the confidence to take them on. And again, offside advantage being played by the referee. Not sure why he wanted to kick it away. Lakshan Silva, desperate for the advantage. And again, this is a fitness issue, isn't it, Sudarshan? You can see a few of the Science College players going down with cramp. And it's just in the 40th minute of the game. So you can see that they don't want to keep playing. They want a stoppage. And that's something that Science will also need to work on. Again, it's the first game, so obviously these things are going to crop up. But cardio fitness is something that they might need to work on.
Oh well, referee Shankar issuing a general warning, the last warning to the Isipathana skipper, because they've given away 3 to 4 penalties because of being offside. So Isipathana need to be very, very careful.
Dunit Javira is a man on the floor here. Looks like it might be another shoulder issue. Yeah, looks like they're trying to pop it back.
Well, like Dunit in the middle, are you suffering from joint or muscle pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, use Baraka Joint Ease Spray. Fast action and quick penetrating Baraka Joint Ease Pain Relief Spray offers instant relief from any type of joint and muscle pain associated with sports and day-to-day work, and they are the proud sponsors. They are a proud sponsor of the Isipathana College team. You can see them using on that player as well. Available in all pharmacies and supermarkets island-wide. Log on to Baraka Facebook page for more details. Coach. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
So big moment in the game here for Science College. If they can convert this into points, things will look better for them. Kaluarachi goes off the back. He's been really good from here. Draws two men. Then want to come back to the blind side. Rakshan Silva just a little bit slow there as they take Kumara through with them, and it looks like the ball has been turned over. Excellent work there from Isipathana. Vavala Pandit comes away with it. And here it is for Navin Kanishka, and then look to run Mihisara. Lovely little handoff, steps out of the tackle, but in the end it gets pushed out into touch. So showing the willingness to run, the Pathana lads, even from under their own goalposts, but Lakshan Silva really needs to get a little bit more urgency into the attack in that red zone if Science College are to breach this Isipathana defense at close quarters.
Well, very interesting scenes around the park. Havelock Sports Club, some of the Isipathana supporters didn't get to their feet even when Isipathana scored, but when they started running from their own line, they're all on their feet.
Well, that's the trademark Isipathana rugby style, bringing back memories for most of the rugby players of the past.
Lots of movement in the line out, a little too much for the referee's liking.
Let's try and take a look at that again if it's possible, the line out. Because as long as the hooker doesn't dummy and you don't lift the player up and keep him in air, seems like another cramp. It's not going to be we're going to see this the entire first week, Shanak. It's not going to be easy for these young lads. It's the first competitive game. All the assets that build up inside your system, they may not come out when no matter how hard you train, but in a tense game like this, they tend to surprise you.
Well, I think many teams have struggled to get their pre-season going as well because of the situation or the circumstances during that time. Even Isipathana, I know for a fact, tried to organize a few games but just couldn't make it going. They had to cancel those games. So I think many of these teams wouldn't have had the best of pre-season preparations as well.
Yes, and it's bound to show, isn't it, Hisham? We had quite a few injuries yesterday in the Joseph Skinswood game. Seeing quite a few players down in this match as well.
Well, seems like that will be it for that young man, Dunit Jaivira. The second time he's gone to the ground.
Yeah.
This time seems like it's the knee. Science play is getting a little chatty, and they're telling the other set of forwards he's in play and let the man go. We'll get a new man in and we'll get going because we want this game to go on.
Well, Dunit Javira looked like he wasn't going to make it too far even after the last time. That shoulder looked like it was in a little bit of trouble. He's got a knee issue as well. They'll do well to make sure he's properly recovered before he gets back on the field. In fact, it's this time it's Senuth Dinusara who goes off. The number 7 looked like a number 1 for a moment. They've got a replacement on the pitch. So Senut Dinusara has done his day's work. Hopefully he will be able to recover and be available for the next game. As Sehandu Discosta finally looks to feed the scrum. Dahan Nithina not used at the back this time. They go straight to the 3/4. Sansoni lays it back nicely. Sehandu takes a couple of steps before he passes. Kanishka nicely fielded that time by Hasita. Straight over the top goes Mithil Mihisara. And here's Chamidu Chirat, who comes away with the ball. Isipathana supporters finally finding their voice again. Quick ball now for a lot of space on the outside. Mihisara cutting back in was the replacement winger. Here's Sanzoni to Kanishka. Dahan Nithina brought down in a good chop tackle. I thought that was a little unfortunate, the offside call. I thought he timed it really well, his run. And nice hands that time from Isipathana, but no, it was forward. So the pass from Vavala Pandit was not a legal one, so they will come back for the offside penalty. But Isipathana showing a little bit more enterprise now.
Well, the skipper was given a choice. One penalty that was closer to the upright or the one in the corner. He chose the one in the corner. Live score from Royal Complex. Royal College 15 points to 5 points of the Antonians. So two scores have happened since the last time we got updated from there. Royal scoring a try and Antonians are scoring a try of their own. Yes, Isipathana putting the ball to touch.
Science College, Anjana in the number 6 jersey, really struggling with a bit of cramp there as well. But there's nothing in this game, is Sudarshana? 13 points to 9, just 4 points in it. So anything could really happen, and you've got to trust that the Science College team can really score from anywhere in the park. So unless they get a 7+ point lead, Hisham, this Isipathana team is not going to rest.
And here's that first opportunity to increase their points. Important line out for Isipathana. Koda Goda with the throw in. Just managing to secure that ball. The forwards trying to move their way forward. Here's Dan. Got down quickly. He's been a marked man. The forwards trying to move their way through. Referee playing advantage for offside. Koda Goda once again. Held up, is he? Yes. So held up, says the referee.
You said there'll be a goal line dropout.
But interestingly, referee did call for a penalty. He did call for advantage, yes. But now it's turned out to be an in-goal dropout because that's an interesting call. Something TJ wouldn't agree with.
Well, I think you have to look at it from the referee's point of view. He called the advantage and they had the advantage. They were over the line. They just had to ground the ball. So he deems that that was advantage. So in Ishan Kabekon's mind, that was adequate advantage for the Isipathana team. Here's Navin. Kanishka, lovely step by Stephen. By Rene Silva, sorry. Just a little swerve of the hip. That was nice work.
Yes, brilliant stuff. And you just saw there, Science College is very, very quick to pounce on anything that is loose. Anything available, anywhere they will bounce on that. So it's going to be very interesting. The rest of the few minutes, the rest of the 20 minutes of this game. 13 points to 9, absolutely nothing in it, like Shanaka mentioned earlier. But Shanaka, for the Isipathanians, do you think slowing it down a notch would help? Because they've been quite wasteful with every time that they've had ball in hand.
They've got the bigger team, they've got the bigger forwards, so it makes sense for them to punch a few holes in this Science College defense, commit some defenders before sending it out. It's a scrum penalty that time. So it's when you've got a big pack as well, Hisham, it's important to have the discipline not to do too much, isn't it?
Well, I think wasteful is the word, the correct word, like you said. So many chances to give them front football, but they've just not taken advantage of it. And Science College, using their get out of jail card wisely. And the more the score remains within touching distance for Science College, it will be nervous times for Isipathana and their fans, certainly, because Science College have shown they have the flair through their backs to do the penetration.
Oh, absolutely spot on, because trust me, I've seen Science College come back from nowhere and beat Trinity at Palikale. In the last minute, they ran from their own goal line to beat Trinity. That was the 2015 season, if I'm not wrong.
Jayaram to throw in, but again it was stolen by Isipathana. Rinesh Silva, the long legs of Rinesh Silva, brother of Randy, the former winger and centre for Isipathana. Nice little box kick that time from Sehandu Di Costa, but well fielded.
Oh, that's a 50-22. I've been wanting one, and that's a 50-22. That ball is going to go for Science College. I hope the right linesman realizes that it was a 50-22.
It's an outstanding kick, really was. And he's been probably the best player on the park for the moment.
Oh, now they realize. Now he's communicating to the referee that it's a 50-22.
Yes, finally realized it. Somebody's come across and told them. And it will be Jayarampana to throw into another line out. And for me, he's been the best man on the pitch, the Science number 14, Hasita. He's been fielding those kicks, running them back strongly, very strong in the tackle as well. Science desperate to need to win that line out, and they do. Managing to set up a maul of their own now. Again, cramp for number 5, that's Lahiru Akash. This might be this Havelock's grounds as well. It's softer than we remember it to be. So players who are used to training on a hard ground could find this a little difficult when the grounds are soft underfoot. It does create cramp, especially in the calf muscle and hamstrings. Another penalty coming in at the side, so much closer this time, and they'll be desperate to win a line out, 2 in a row. It's not something we've seen from Science College so far in this game, 2 line outs in a row.
Play.
They go to the front of the line out. Jayarampana goes in to try and tidy up after throwing in.
Advantage.
Not rolling away is another penalty now for Science College, so they have a free go at this here. See what Lakshan Silva orders his forwards to do. Taking it forward, that time was Kumara. It's been full of running, but you really want the ball in the hands of Kaluarachi at this point, the Science skipper. It's slow. And when it's slow, the bigger men will have more of an advantage. So Science really need to make sure that this ruck speed is fast for them. Quick ball. There's been some infringement. Coming straight off the line with a good tackle was Sejando Di Costa there. Needed to make it quickly.
Use the ball.
Again, it's very slow ball for Science. Inching it forward. Body positions could really do with a little bit of improvement here. And yes, that's where never looked like they were going to breach the Isipathana defense with the way that they were attacking.
Quite a little disappointed at the fact that Science opted to go to the man in front. Not because they were throwing to number 6 and collecting it cleanly, setting up a maul, but they sent it to the man in front, which isolated him, and they did not have front foot ball since. Isipathana, on the other hand, will be breathing a massive sigh of relief. Science were camped in their 5-meter line for the past couple of minutes, so they'll be breathing a little easier despite still being inside their red zone.
Well, I guess this is where the coaches and the players have got to get their act together and play it smart. Isipathana have been wasteful, like we've been repeating throughout the game, so I think they've got to just play for territory here. Get out of jail, set yourself, and then again still they have not been able to get some front football for their backs. It's just their forwards running at the opposition and then the backs trying to do the same. So it's not structured play as you would want to have. The line out, here we go, line out's good. Dahan bumps off the first defender, good offload. Number 7 just managed to hold on.
Release. Back, last foot.
Coming back into the center of the field was Steven that time on the left-hand touchline. Sejando Di Costa now. Here's a man who's been doing some really good work, Venura Sangeet, the hooker. Now they've got plenty of players over. Surya Dodangoda. That's really well stolen by Lakshan Silva. The little scrum half has done outstandingly well there. And now the kick goes in. And really well collected that time from Rines Silva. Runs straight into the tackle of Kavisha. It looked like it might have been a high tackle there from Kavisha, so Isipathana escaped with the penalty. But really open rugby here, and I think we're going to see a couple, if not at least one more try in this game.
Here we go, great work by Silva. Gets away from his man, second man. Tries to step in. But unfortunate there, he was actually slipping into the man.
It's good to see it was just a penalty because he was clearly on the way down. When Kavisha's arm came up, there is absolutely no intent to make a high tackle, so it is dangerous. The referee is bound to give a penalty, but nothing more than that there. Isipathana now just catching a breath, knowing that it's the last 10 minutes or so of this game and that they really need to be a little more ahead on the scoreboard, so they're going to try to make sure they get that.
Because remember, Shanika, like you mentioned, those bonus points are going to really come in handy. And at the moment, Science are in with a bonus point because they're inside 7 points. The deficit is less than 7 points, and Isipathana need to get moving now if they want that bonus point.
One at the front that time by Dorangoda. Sacked cleanly that time, says the referee. They tried it in the first half and got penalized for the sack. It's lost forward. Touch judge hasn't managed to communicate that, so Isipathana get away with one there. Sehandha Di Costa. Now they got a bit of space. Navin Kanishka coming on the loop. Mihisara doing well there. Isipathana doing well to keep the ball in play. Di Costa. Navin Kanishka. Here's the captain. Barging it forward is Tehan Nithina. Di Costa again cuts back in field. Here it is for the replacement.
Offside.
Chamat erosion it was, and here's the skipper once again. You can't keep the ball out of his hands.
Playing advantage.
Science College will desperately want it out of his hands, of course. Chamat erosion again.
Back.
5 meters away, Isipathana pounding away at this red wall of defense.
Again offside.
Good tackle that time from Science College. And that's the try that Isipathana were desperately craving. It's the third try. And when you saw them attacking from the 5-meter line, you knew that it was only a matter of time, which is not what Science College had. So it looks like it might be Chamat Eroshan who scored.
Well, will that be the NDB moment of the game that really wins it for Isipathana? We'll have to wait a couple of more minutes and see. But this time around they were fully composed, good body position to go to the line. And now Isipathana will be breathing a little more easier. Shanak, we are in the final 10 minutes of the game, and I think it's time that we try and discuss about the NDB player of the match. Who's going to walk away with that accolade?
I think Venura Sangeet has been very good for Isipathana Sudarshana in the set piece, as well as scoring a try and around the park. He's been making his tackles, turning the ball over, and the third row also for Isipathana has been pretty good. The backs have been decent without really shining. Mihisara had the easy try in the first half, but his kicking boots really have not let him down, but it hasn't been a man of the match performance with the boot. So I'd have to say that for me, Venura Sangeet is the man who stood out so far.
Yes, 18 points to 9. Currently Isipathana in the lead. Here's the NDB moment of the game so far. Isipathana touching down and making sure that they are in front and have a 9-point lead against Science College. Well, what happened there?
Well, a bit of a miscommunication, to say the least. And here's Rene Silva, who's also been really good. Sehandha Di Costa coming back in field. Gunilla Hansindu making a run. The 65th minute of the game, not the time you want your props called into the game finally. Dahan Nithina. And here's some space now. Vavala Pandit with a good pass out to his third row mate Jayavira. Rolls his way into the line, and Sehandha Di Costa has seen a bit of space.
Tackle, release.
Eroshan does well to go in and support the ball, but it has squirted forward, and Science College will have a bit of a reprieve.
Well, I think Hisham, who's your call for the NDB player of the match? Because clearly seems like Isipathana College are going to take this one. They will be a little disappointed if they are not able to get that bonus point. But I do agree with Shanika that Venura Sangeet, the number 2 for Isipathana, was pretty good.
Yes, apart from Venura, I think Dahan too has been the thick of things, the main ball carrier for Isipathana, but I've been impressed with Rinesh Silva as well. Some nice stepping, some nippy runs, some good offloads, but unfortunately it just didn't have the extra support to add more, either add them into points or to finish them moves. Time back on here in Science College, important scrum. Just under 4 minutes to go of regulation time.
So both teams, if it finishes like this, will come away without any bonus points. But it's a good scrum for Isipathana to try and really put the pressure on here. Forwards coach Danushka Boteju will definitely be urging his front row to put some pressure on. They're fresh. Sangeet has played the full 66 minutes so far.
Coach! Bye! Set! Steady! Steady!
The crowd trying to back the Isipathana players.
Offside! Offside, number 9!
Referee playing advantage for offside.
It's a really
Number
good kick
9
under
offside.
pressure from Kavisha. The referee is allowing advantage to go on, but there's really no advantage there. So they will come back for the penalty, and if they do win the line out, can Science make something happen?
Mark here.
Certainly probably not enough to win the game, but a losing bonus point is something that they will love to take home with them. Kavisha finding a decent touch. They'll have to go all of about 60 meters to score this one.
It's crucial that they get the line out right. And Isipathana will certainly look into exert some pressure, try to force a mistake.
Time on.
So Science College with the all-important line out. 2 minutes to go.
Managed to snuffle it at the front. It's an untidy ball, but they will retain it. Again, another penalty coming. And Kavisha has no option but to thump this one down the field. But the referee will come back for the penalty. And looks like there might have been a bit of a late charge there as well. Seeing a yellow card. Yes. Chamati Roshan, who's just come onto the park. Has to go right off. So 14 men for the rest of the team. For the rest of the match rather. And Kavisha will put this one just into touch. Just into touch. So it's not a bad touch finder. They've got 40 meters now. So they've reduced that deficit to from 60 to 40. So got to run 20 meters less. See what they do. Isipathana down a man in their line out.
Well, almost just outside their red zone. They've managed to enter the Isipathana half.
It's making a few substitutions, Isipathana. Number 23 in for Sansoni. It's a nice drive by...
Number 8.
Really was very obvious going in at the side from Dahan Nitina. Referee's playing advantage. Kavisha looks to take on the defense himself.
Offside, number 8 coming.
In from the side, and it's lucky to get away with that, isn't it, Hisham? Because it looked quite cynical.
Exactly, and they've been giving away penalties one after the other. This will give Sahans an opportunity to get a line out inside the Isipathana 22.
It did go out, even though it was tipped back. They had crossed a plane of touch.
Yeah, straight line.
So all So all to play for Science College. The bonus point in the balance. Isipathana College will look to do the spoiling work.
Yes, very much edge of the seat stuff here, and it's unfortunate.
What do you want? Scrum?
Science making a basic error again, calling the throw to number 6 when your line out isn't functioning well. They've won 1 and 2 actually consecutively at number 2, but just no discipline to keep it there.
It's a little too far, isn't it, for Science College there. And like we mentioned, a bonus point could have been something, and that's something that they deserve to take away from this game. They haven't backed down. On to 70 minutes on our clock. Maybe a couple more minutes to be played on the referee's clock.
Bind. Set. Steady. Steady. Stay.
Yes, Isipathana.
Well, Isipathana looking to run this one out of their own 22 in the 70th minute. That's not great game management, unless they're desperate for a bonus point. And look like that ball has gone out and probably will be the game. No, referee Shankar Bekun says there's a bit more time left on his clock. Last play, says the referee. So Isipathana will probably want to put this one out to touch as soon as they get an opportunity.
Well, here's our NTB player of the match, who's done some very good stuff. When you're a hooker, you cannot be the player of the match if you don't get your throws right, Chanaka. So that's something that he's done, apart from all the other good things that he's delivered for Isipathana College. Venura Sangeet.
Isipathana is still wanting to play, so maybe they're chasing their 4th try, knowing how important these bonus points might be in the latter half of the season.
Live score from Royal Complex, 22 points to 12. Antonian still throwing some punches at the Royalist, and that's full time here at Havelock Park. Isipathana half and puff, but finally get home, 18 points to 9.
It wasn't fluent by any stretch of the imagination from Isipathana, but they did enough to get over the line against a very gutsy Science College team, a team that was very much second best in terms of the set pieces. And if you don't have your set pieces, it's going to be very difficult to beat a team that is competent in that area. But Isipathana will know that there's much more work to be done. Looking at the other teams in the competition, they will go back home and try to iron out those kinks. But well done to Science College. They've come up against a team with a bigger reputation, and they've managed to hold them to 3 tries, one of them coming in the last few minutes of the game as well, and came desperately close to scoring a few of their own. And just their close quarter attack is something that they need to work on, of course, with their set pieces as well. But in the end, a thoroughly satisfying game of rugby, the second one that we're seeing in this Dialog Schools rugby season, and the second match day. Here's a winning try. I'll tell you
NTB, a moment of the match.
Looked like it might have been, not sure who it was, couldn't see the jersey number of the scorer. But jubilant scenes here at Havelock Park as Dahan Nithina has kept his limp to the end of the game, carried the ball tremendously, and will be a real handful for opposition teams. The same big number 8 that we saw yesterday with Navin Marasinghe at the back of the Joe scrum. But 18 points to 9 is what they'll have to be satisfied with. The Isipathana fans not happy, but not too sad either. We'll take the win, even though it's not a bonus point.
Well, as for the Science fans, take some heart from that performance. They weren't a match when it comes to the set plays, like you mentioned, Chanaka. They weren't any match when it comes to the sizes of the Isipathana team. But when it came to the heart, they matched them pound for pound. I think Science College, they were up front in their collisions. They controlled the breakdown well. They didn't miss many tackles, but ultimately was a little bit unlucky. Their decision making could have done them better.
Yes, absolutely. I was just going to say it was the decision making that let them down towards the latter half of the game. Might also be a fatigue thing because they were defending for a lot of the game. And Lakshan Silva and Kavisha in the 9 and 10 channels need to maybe step up and take a little bit more responsibility. Isipathana did come up with some good plays like that, but just couldn't find the final pass. Stephen, Jaivira, all of them doing really well with the ball in hand. And that was a fantastic moment in the game of 50-22, which Darshana was calling for from this time this season started. And here is where Isipathana ended up winning the game. Seeing the gap, stepping it through. And it's just a close quarters attack within the 5 meters and defending within the 5 meters that Science College really need to get better at. But I'm sure they will improve in that area as the season goes on.
Well, here's the full-time confirmation, 18 points to 9. Isipathana taking it home with 3 tries and a penalty. And Science College couldn't cross the line, collected 3 penalties. They were sensible enough to try and kick them whenever they got the chance. And they do have 9 points to show for all their trouble. When Rosangit, the NDB player of the match for this game, for his brilliant work in the breakdowns and also being a very safe set of hands when it comes to the line out and the try he managed to score for Science. It's been an incredible game here at Havelock Park. Second game on the same surface if it was cricket, but here at Rugby we play games every day of the week in the same surface and doesn't need a lot of taking care of.
Yeah, far more low maintenance sport, rugby, compared to cricket. And I'm not just talking about the pitch, about the players as well. Here are the matches coming up for you on the Papare.com, powered by Dialog. The 25th of June, that's tomorrow, we're going to see St. Peter's taking on Dharmaraja. Then we're going to see Wesley taking on Vidyartha, and we're going to see Trinity taking on St. Thomas's up in Pallekele. That's for the Canon RS Serum Trophy. So some big games lined up for you tomorrow.
Yes, some very big games lined up for you tomorrow. All 3 games will be live on the Papare.com. The first game, St. Peter's versus Dharmaraja, Papare.com in partnership with the Petroid Media Unit, and then Wesley versus Vidyartha. That's going to be a very interesting one because Wesley are surely the dark horses in that Group 2A, and Vidyartha, don't discount them because they did show some class in that concluded 7th competition. And the Canon RS Serum Trophy up in Pallekele, Trinity taking on the St. Thomas's outfit will be brought to you in partnership with TCMU, Trinity College Media Unit. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this game from Havelock Park. It's time for us to say goodbye from Shanaka, Hisham, myself and our production and technical crew. It's goodbye from Havelock Park.
Introducing Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace with a wide range of product categories. Pharmaceuticals, automobile, groceries, electronics, flowers and cakes, homeware and appliances, and special services such as Quickie Concierge and Quickie SOS. providing you with multiple payment options, quick delivery and reliable customer support. Get anything you want delivered anywhere in Sri Lanka with special late-night delivery until 3 a.m. within Colombo and suburbs. Download the Quickie.lk mobile app on your Android or iOS device or visit www.quickie.lk. Quickie.lk. Convenience delivered.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.